Hey guys, David here. Welcome to Digital Outlook, where you're going to find the best community in all of crypto. In today's video, this could be your last chance to get on board because this ship is about to take off. So guys, without further ado, why don't we get to it? Guys, I have always said when you see institutional adoption start to take place in this space, you are going to watch the volatility of this marketplace start to absolutely evaporate. And with that, those life-changing gains of opportunity where we could literally get in at rock bottom low prices and see 10x, 20x, 50x, 100x, even 1000x returns. Guys, that is going to be completely off the table when you watch institutional adoption and regulatory clarity come into this space. And why is that? Because guys, when you get that, the risk is coming way down. And with the risk coming down, guys, the reward is going to come down with it. And I think, and a lot of folks also think, that we're literally on the verge of seeing that institutional adoption come into effect with the regulatory clarity that's coming around the world. And this could be your very last chance to absolutely get in and experience some life-changing gains. Well, guys, just take a look at this article from CoinDesk right here. Please enjoy the final crypto winter. With US regulations coming soon, the frauds, schemes, and irresponsible investment management practices that led to the current market downturn will be things of the past, reasons Paul Brody. And guys, he's right. With regulatory clarity, a lot of those things are going to get evaporated. But what else is going to get evaporated? Guys, we have some major, amazing players in this space like Ripple that are out there actually trying to change the world in this fourth industrial revolution and bring a level playing field, banking the unbanked, micro loans, and all kinds of other functionality to this space to the benefit of the entire global economy. But guys, when you get this kind of regulatory clarity to clean up all the trash, which in fact we want, what's also going to happen, guys, you're watching that volatility in this space and the risk off of that come way down with it. Now let's just listen to what this guy has to say here. So he's talking about a surge in enforcement actions by law enforcement. The world of crypto and blockchain has always had an uncomfortable relationship between starry-eyed good do-gooders, count me among the crowd, he says, and ruthless opportunists trying to hijack that message to sell whatever they come up with. And he's absolutely right. That definitely does happen. But remember, we have all of these other ecosystems that are really doing some amazing things in the world. Hedera Hashgraph, Algorand, IOTA, you got XDC, Stellar, XRP, Ripple, and all the like, and Cardano, and other ones like that. VeChain, another one I really like. Guys, you're seeing these ecosystems bring some real positive into the world in this space through distributed ledger technology as well. Now, one of the things that has been immensely frustrating over the years is seeing the warnings we and others have made about the dangerous, speculative, and downright absurd nature of some crypto and blockchain investments go unheeded. We warned about the abysmal track record of initial coin offerings in 2018 and again in 2019, and we were hardly alone in expressing our concerns. Enforcement actions are much more effective than warnings and social media flame wars. Well, guys, yes, some enforcement actions have been good, but some, as we know, have been absolutely ridiculous. When Ethereum got a free pass and then the SEC went right after Ripple's jugular and not meeting even one prong of the Howey test, and you have Gary Gensler that'll sit there before Congress and he can't even define what a security is. So how on earth they're giving fair notice to these companies out there that are really trying to make a positive difference in the world utilizing distributed ledger technology is beyond me. Now, contradictions and inconsistencies in public policies. Many countries, the US first and foremost, have complex and decentralized regulatory systems. If we can't get everyone in the world of blockchain to agree upon what policies should be, we should not be surprised that regulators are not fully and immediately in agreement either. What is useful is that the legal system must try to make some consistent sense of how the law is applied. In those cases, regulators must present a clear and consistent opinion of what the law means, which we're not getting out of the SEC now, are we? But guys, Congress is about to take action, and we are probably going to see some regulatory clarity come out of the US very, very soon. And why is that, guys? Because they're competing on a world stage. And we've already seen Europe come up with some major regulatory clarity. We've seen the United Arab Emirates come out with some regulatory clarity. And we're watching regulatory clarity come out from a number of global jurisdictions where this distributed ledger technology is absolutely thriving, and it's about to come out in the United States. Now, he's saying here, this clarity is going to take some time to emerge, but it is coming. Now, maturing in industry leadership and product. The boom-bust cycle of the tech industry tends to happen when expectations and excitements far outstrip the capacity of companies to actually deliver on products and earn revenues. Now, this happened in tech in the early 1980s when video game consoles and PCs arrived on the scene, but before the world had found the right applications to drive enterprise adoption. A second, much larger boom cycle emerged in the late 90s as new network technologies and the internet generated tremendous excitement, but not much in the way of revenue or profits. Not dissimilar to many blockchain and crypto business models in 2018 to 2022. The dot-com bubble saw companies go public and raise hundreds of millions of dollars without meaningful revenue streams, or occasionally without even well-structured business plans. Now, guys, that is why one of my four conditions, and the very first one is it has to have a real world utility. Because, guys, I agree, we're probably going to see a majority of these, ecosystems completely go the way of the dodo. And more than likely, out of the 27,000 blockchain systems, you're probably only going to see a handful, 30, 40, maybe even 50, that genuinely survive and absolutely thrive. And those are the ones, guys, that we want to pay attention to. That's why it's so vitally important for you to get out there and find out what that real world utility is and research who's who in the zoo and who's the management team behind that project and what acumen they're bringing to the table. You check out what the strategic partnerships are and if they've actually followed through on those agreements, and then and only then do you even consider price action. Because, guys, these ones are going to matter the most. Is it really something that's being utilized, or is it just outright hopium? Well, we know with Ripple, look, Ripple is out there literally developing the evolution of money in helping nation states construct their central bank digital currencies. That is truly mind-boggling. I don't know too many companies out there that are doing. There's literally only a handful, but Ripple is definitely one of those. Now, guys, I want to show you something right up here. Just take a look at this article that came out in February of 2023. And it's saying here, the FSB, the IMF, and the BIS papers set global crypto framework, says G20. A series of recommendations and papers setting standards for global crypto regulatory framework will be released by institutions in July and September. And guys, we recently saw that leak come out from Christine Lagarde, the head of the European Central Bank and the previous head of the International Monetary Fund, where she absolutely came out and said, hey, in September, we're going to be releasing a bunch of information with respect to this. And before the end of the year, they're looking at having their regulatory framework in place. And you're watching it happen all over Europe right now. You're watching it happen in England, which, by the way, wants to be a major hub for distributed ledger technology, research, and advancement. And then you got the United Arab Emirates, and they're literally building a tax-free haven for distributed ledger technology and crypto companies. It is really something to watch the regulatory framework happen around the world. And guys, it's happening in unison. Now listen to this. The Financial Stability Board, the International Monetary Fund, and the Bank for International Settlements will deliver papers and recommendations establishing standards for a global crypto regulatory framework. The group of the 20 biggest economies of the world, collectively known as the G20, announced that on February 25th. According to a document summarizing the outcomes of the meeting with finance ministers and central bank governors, the FSB will release by July recommendations on the regulation, supervision, and oversight of global stablecoins, crypto asset activities, and markets. The next guidance is expected for September, when the FSB and the IMF jointly should submit a synthesis paper integrating the macroeconomic and regulatory perspectives of crypto assets in the same month. The IMF, excuse me, will also report on the potential macro-financial implications of widespread adoption of central bank digital currencies, guys, right there. According to the G20 statement, we look forward to the IMF SSB synthesis paper, which will support a coordinated and comprehensive policy approach to crypto assets by considering macroeconomics and regulatory perspectives, including the full range of risks posed by crypto assets. The Bank of International Settlements, which, by the way, guys, is the central bank of all central banks. In fact, they only service central banks and a few major corporations, global corporations out there in the world, but it's set up for them. The Bank of International Settlements will also submit a report on analytical and conceptual issues and possible risk mitigation strategies related to crypto assets. This report's deadline is not mentioned in the document. A G20 financial task force will also look at the use of crypto assets to fund terrorist activities, which of course is something they've always brought up. The announcement came after 2 days of official meetings in Bangalore, India, in the first financial meeting under India's presidency. The group addressed key financial stability and regulatory priorities for digital assets, Cointelegraph reported. During the event, the United States Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen said it was critical to put in place a strong regulatory framework for crypto-related activities. She also noted that the country is not suggesting outright banning of crypto activities, and guys, I've never believed they ever would in that capacity either. Speaking to reporters on the sidelines of the event, IMF Managing Director Kristalina Georgieva stated that banning crypto should be an option for G20 countries. Well, guys, I don't think they're going to come right out there and ban it. But I think what's going to happen is you are going to see a major coordinated effort to bring on a regulatory framework that is going to be implemented in most countries around the world that are going to coincide with one another. And you're going to see treaties between all these various nation states, including tax treaties and treaties on this regulatory framework. And I'm telling you guys, when we see that, and it comes into full force, you are going to watch institutional adoption happen at a level like you have never, ever seen. And when that happens, guys, you are going to watch the volatility come way, way down. And you're going to see, yes, all these scammers, they're going to be dealt with in a big way, to be sure. But guys, it's also going to take a lot of risk off the table, isn't it? And when that risk is taken off, that reward is taken off. And that's why I think that right now can be one of our last chances to genuinely get into a space on the ground floor and watch it absolutely take off into space when we see massive institutional adoption due to the regulatory frameworks that are coming. Now, guys, I want to show you this. article right here because this was a big one. In our coffee chat this morning, we were even talking about, hey, what they're going to be doing with all these hardware wallets and whether or not they're even going to allow, self-custody the same capacity that we enjoy it now. Well, just look at this article right here. Hard wallet maker Ledger, crypto custodian Atana target institutions with regulated custody, guys. The companies are looking to make it easier for institutions to hold digital assets and bolster investor confidence in the market. Ledger, an offline private key storage company, is working with crypto custodian Atana Custody to offer secure, regulated cryptocurrency custody for institutional clients in the U.S., according to a Wednesday press release. The companies are looking to make it easier for institutions to hold digital assets and bolster investor confidence in the market. The arrangement allows customers to access more than 1,800 tokens supported by Ledger, broadening their crypto investment options without having to maintain their own private keys. Wow, guys, while segregating clients' funds and reducing counterparty risk. Institutional investors have become increasingly mindful of complying with crypto regulations amid a regulatory crackdown on digital assets industry in the U.S. In the first few months of 2023, the Securities and Exchange Commission has levied penalties, including fines against more than a dozen crypto trading and lending firms. As part of the deal, Atana is able to act as a settlement party to the counterparties in a given transaction, enabling them to trade digital assets without putting up their money to one another directly, eliminating the risks of deals falling through. It essentially prevents the client from doing the hokey pokey or putting his money in and taking it out before a trade actually settles, leaving the exchange with the settlement risk. Atana CEO Brandon Russell told CoinDesk. Guys, I'm telling you what, if they're putting this in place for institutional custodians so it actually makes it safer for them in the broader ecosystem, I'm telling you, down the road, we're going to see self-custody for retail take on like these kinds of iterations where other companies like Atana and other ones are out there to custody these assets. I genuinely believe that's coming down the road. It might not be right away, but I believe eventually it will, due to the vulnerabilities that this whole space has with respect to self-custody. And by that I mean, guys, their big take on it is, the terrorist funding. We got to get on top of that. They're not going to ban crypto. What they're going to do is impose KYC, AML, and restrictions on self-custody. I genuinely believe that. And those transactions are going to be tracked and managed and monitored in a much bigger capacity than what they ever have before. Now, look at this right here. Brad Garlinghouse is focused on positive developments. Regulatory clarity is needed in the U.S. Now, just listen to this. Ripple CEO Brad Garlinghouse recently criticized the United States for lagging in establishing a clear regulatory framework for cryptocurrency-related activities. Despite this setback, Garlinghouse remains focused on the positive developments occurring in other world regions. Specifically, he cited United Kingdom, United Arab Emirates, and the European Union as progressing in regulated crypto activities. Garlinghouse's remarks came in response to the release of Ripple's Q1 2023 financial report, which revealed several positive trends. The Q1 2023 XRP markets report is live, detailing important events in crypto and the broader financial markets. In Q1, global regulatory process, a vibrant community building on the XRP ledger, and the latest technical updates. Now, for example, the report showed that the XRP ledger saw over 114,000 new wallets, 116 million transactions, and over 140,000 XRP burned during the first quarter of 2023. The report also indicates that Ripple's on-demand liquidity remained healthy despite the ongoing banking crisis. Despite these promising developments, Garlinghouse criticism of the United States highlights the need for clear and comprehensive regulatory frameworks to be established in the country. As cryptocurrencies continue to gain mainstream acceptance and adoption, governments must provide clear guidance and regulations to protect consumers and prevent illicit activities. While other regions have made progress in this regard, it is clear that more needs to be done to ensure a level playing field for all stakeholders in the cryptocurrency ecosystem. The US may be moving backwards, but I like to focus on the positive. In the last few months, the EU, the UK, and the UAE all move forward with regulatory frameworks and regimes for crypto activities. Guys, we're seeing it happen and we're watching it in real time. And it literally, when you see these regulatory frameworks come out, and I bet dollars to donuts, or as Crypto Lulu likes to say, your last XRP, that we are going to see major regulatory framework in the United States being tabled very, very soon. And when it does, guys, and we get that regulatory clarity, that regulatory framework, and hey, this decision with Ripple could be a major takeoff for it. We get that, and you watch institutional adoption come in, wow, you're going to see the volatility of this space completely evaporate. Institutional adoption come in like you've never seen before, and you are going to watch that risk level just go way, way down. And those of us that had the keen sense to get into this space as early as we did, I'm telling you what, you are going to be thanking God for the blessings He's given you to be in this space as early as you have, because it is going to cause this ecosystems to absolutely take off, and you are going to watch massive appreciations. But guys, after that happens, your last crypto winter is probably over. Yeah, you're going to see ups and downs in markets like you do in every market, but you're not going to see those numbers where you watch 90-some% literally get taken off the table only to blow the doors off the previous all-time high in the next run. Those days are going to be over. Those 10Xs, 30Xs, 50Xs, 100Xs, 1000Xs, probably not going to be there anymore, guys. Just think a 10X, which a lot of people consider a low return in this space, is 1,000% return. Do you think in a traditional market you're seeing 1,000% returns? No, guys, you're going to see maybe if you get 20 and 30% returns, you're going to rejoice over that after all this institutional adoption and everything gets in place and all the regulatory framework is there and all that risk has been mitigated and brought way, way down. Well, the reward is coming way, way down. And this may be your very last chance to absolutely get in and participate in probably one of the greatest wealth transfers the world has ever seen, one of the greatest life-changing events. I genuinely believe that. And I'll tell you what, guys, I really do want to see you right there in that winner's circle. Guys, it has been my pleasure to coach people from every walk of life, from major sports players to famous musicians to business owners, lawyers, accountants, even financial advisors and government employees, along with everyday people. And what most of them are interested in doing is getting their plan in place before this next bull run absolutely takes off. And what our coaching program offers, that is where you and I can meet personally one-on-one for 1 hour over Zoom. And during that time, I share with you our personal journey in that last bull run and what enabled Judy and I to experience some amazing financial success. I share with you the mistakes we made so that you don't have to fall into the same pitfalls we did. We take a look at your portfolio and make sure that it's balanced towards your goals, and we work together to develop your exit strategy. We can even get your assets off an exchange and onto a hardware wallet, along with delivering to you some amazing techniques that are really going to help you in this space. Now, the cost of that is $250, and if that's something that interests you, you write me right there at coaching@thedigitaloutlook.com and we'll get you all booked in. So this is the video I have for you today, guys, and as always, I truly hope that you enjoyed it. Now, many of you know I'm not a financial advisor, and this isn't financial advice, but if you found value in it, if you'd hit that like and subscribe, I'd appreciate it. And of course, drop your comments right down there in the comment section. And don't forget about hitting that notification bell so that you don't miss out on any of our regularly released videos. So guys, in the meantime and in between time, stay safe, be blessed, and I'll catch you in the next one.